Alright, today in this video, we're shaking down the Rlaarlo HY6 that I'm genuinely surprised that I even received. So, it's not a super exciting video. I didn't film it very well, I didn't bring a gimbal. Most of it was shot in third person. So yeah, stick around. We're going to talk about this. This will be the first real challenge for the HY6. This is a pretty steep grade here, very loose gravel. Let's see how it does. It's not even struggling a bit. And this is high gear with the diff locked. Struggled a teeny bit, but probably do that with 15 pounds in the back. Alright, here we are at another challenging spot. And again, the camera doesn't do the elevation justice. Just another loose surface uphill gradient. Does it pretty easy. I had it in high gear at first and it was a little too much for it. You hear the fan kicked on. Switched into low. Has plenty of torque. Extremely capable for something scale. Oop. Alright, let's keep going up the trail. Okay, so I just switched into low gear and it's not engaging. High gear, and now it engages. So watch out for your shift servo, people. And here's another little challenging spot for the Rlaarlo. Let's see if I can do this one-handed while crouching. So, well, it'll probably do this in high gear, but what I found on 3S on high gear is it doesn't have the juice. It cogs out. And then shifting is the other big problem. It does not like to shift into low gear. I found that if you're already on an obstacle, it will not shift. Oop. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to drive up this. Don't look like it. Maybe if we go the more aggressive route. Keep in mind, folks, I'm doing this one-handed. And I am not skilled one-handed. Let's see if we can't hook it up there. Nope. There we go, yeah. Let's give the other route one more try. If not, I'll push it up. Let me just get that back wheel to pop up. There we go. Yeah, no, it's not gonna do it. I mean, for a scale military rig, it is pretty capable, but it does have its limits. Let's see. Oh, hold on, my foot is stuck inside of it. Hold on, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I think with some grippier tires, this thing would really come alive. That and 4S. I don't think you should run this on 3S. What the hell? What am I stuck on now? Oop. We're stuck on something, folks. I think that's that big ass rock in there. Let's see if we can't bump it up here. In 3, 2, 1, give it the juice. Yep. Oh yeah, that's what it was. The rock was getting stuck on the axle. Hey, did it. Alright. So I'm gonna take this trail. Both of these trails go back to my house, but this one kind of goes back up the mountain, and then I'll have to come back down the mountain. There's a couple technical spots up that way, whereas this will just be the same thing going back. But the last time I went up this way, there was a homeless dude waving a machete around with no pants on. So I got that. Let's go. We're in first gear. I think I'm going to keep it in low gear because it has plenty of speed, but it also has tons of torque in low gear. If my filming's not that great, it's because I'm just holding my phone. I didn't bring a tripod or anything. This truck is really cool though. I am pretty impressed with it. Definitely needs 4S though. Alright, I'll come back to you when I find an interesting spot. I just had to change my first battery. LiPo cutoff is kind of weird. Normally, you know, when the LiPo cutoff engages, it just goes real slow. It just turned off. I just went boop, 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 and powered down. So, I mean, I guess that's alright. Probably went, let's see, my house is way over there on the other side of that red. I came all the way down this trail and around, up there, over there, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, probably about 2 kilometers. And that's on a 2200 3S, so it's really not bad for the size and weight of it. So let's keep going, and I'll come back to you when I find an interesting spot. Alright, something else I just noticed that's annoying. So, it has turn signals, but Rlaarlo is smart enough and kind enough to give us that 4-button press. And they flash, and no more. But you have to do that every single time you power cycle the truck. So every time you turn it on, every time you switch the battery, you have to turn them off. Just don't put them in there. Just put it on a switch like a real car. That's it. That's Pikes Peak. Just in case you didn't believe that I was on a mountain, that is Pikes Peak. And this thing's taking it like a champ so far. At 7,500 feet, I think. And most of this terrain is uphill, downhill, decaying granite, no traction. So, but it sure is pretty. So this is just a shakedown run. I didn't want to do the big run already. I have plans to take this thing all over the place. But I honestly wasn't sure that I was even going to get it today after how long I waited for it. Stuck in customs for like a month and a half with very little communication from Rlaarlo. You had to pester them for them to be like, oh yeah, by the way. But yeah, it is what it is. So once we're done with the shakedown run, I'm gonna clean it up a little. I want to take a look at that shift servo. So I feel like it's not engaging low gear all the way, but yeah, so if you get one of these, shift into high while you're moving a little bit like this, and when you want to shift into low, don't do it on an obstacle because it will not shift. It'll just kind of jam itself up. You just want to be moving real slow or just be on flat ground when you shift into low gear and it'll pop in. So far, that's my biggest complaint. That and on 3S, it just does not have a lot of torque in high gear. So far, so good. Yeah, I thought there were some technical spots up this way. I feel like we might be coming up to one. Still a cool trail though. And again, I know this view's not the greatest. It's like playing a video game in third person. But I didn't bring my gimbal or anything. So I'm just holding my phone. I don't even know if you can hear me. There we go. I think we're coming up to a technical downhill spot. I thought that was a little crazier from memory. Let's go to the other side and film it from that angle. All right. Let us see what it does. Which way should we go, folks? We go straight down the middle, or go down the left or the right? I was gonna go straight down the middle, I suppose. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, the sun's at the wrong angle. Dang old bush. Oop. Yeah, I thought that was a little bit more technical than it really is. Anyway, keep on keeping on. Well, guess I'll come back to you if I find another cool spot, or an actually cool spot. I see some rocks. Let's get into position. There's all kinds of rocks. All right. Alright, sorry about that. I ran into one of my neighbors up here. He's in his 90s, and he's still going for hikes. Oh yeah. BEA beautiful. All right, handled that little rocky section just fine. Yeah, sorry I had to cut it there. Do that little technical bit. Ran into, his name's Kurt. He's, I think he said he was 94 last time I ran into him. And he's still up here hiking, which is incredibly impressive. high altitude, there's not a lot of oxygen. You'll hear me huffing and puffing. So he's out there getting it. Told me, just keep moving and stay alive. So this episode is brought to you by Wise Words from Kurt. So keep moving and you stay alive. Here's another little diversion in the trail here. So that goes up. And if you look at the top of the ridge here, I believe that's the Cascade overlook. And then right there, that little light spot is, that's the Pikes Peak overlook. Or no, not right there, to the right, right there. Right, where's my, right there. I'm trying to point with that, yeah, right there. That's where I spread my father's ashes. You can see everything from up there. You can hike up there too. There's a trail that goes all the way up that. I think it kind of goes up this ridge, up there, and you kind of come up to the Cascade overlook, which is up there. And that all points out to here. There's Pikes Peak. Still snow on that side of the hill. None on this side. So, Kurt asked me if it was rechargeable. I was like, yeah, man. I gotta buy a new one every time the batteries run out. That'd be crazy. Well, I'm not gonna take the upper route. I'm gonna go this direction, which, oh, you can see it now. That's Pyramid Mountain Road. One person lives on that road. Actually, I think it might be two now. Let's see if I remember. I think if I go this way, I'll pop out right to that road, and then I just have to walk down a really big hill. Or I can go this way and go through some more technical bits. I still have 2 fully charged batteries in my pocket, so we'll go this way. Yeah, even with this big Chungus remote, you still steer with one hand. It's all color coded too. If I put that down around here, I might lose it. Now I should have got the other camouflage version. Oh shit, I almost tripped. I think that would have fit in better in my area. This darker green doesn't really match. I don't know. Yeah, who cares? So let's go this way. Yeah, most of the trails in my area aren't very technical or difficult. There are some technical spots, especially if you go up to the star. Hold on, I wonder if you can. Yeah, so the top of that hill right there, I call that the star because there's a LED star up there that they light up during the winter, during the holidays. If you live in the Colorado Springs Woodland Park area, you've probably seen it driving up and down the pass. Anyways, the trail that goes up there kind of cuts in between these 2 ridges through an old Boy Scout camp. And there are some pretty good technical spots over there. And still, most of these trails are geared more towards scale trucks. They're just basic hiking trails. When I say hiking trails, they're just trails that have been in the neighborhood since the 50s. My great-grandfather taught most of us how to shoot up in these hills. Can't do that no more. Too many new people have moved into the area, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. But also fire danger. But you know what you're doing, you're not going to start a fire. Anyways, I'm rambling. I hope you enjoy this third-person snow runner view. I will try to remember to bring my gimbal next time. Maybe a tripod to get some actual decent shots. Not just third person here. This is kind of a more candid video. All the videos you see nowadays are just like all these badass slow motion shots. It's like, oh yeah, oh, I fucking need that. But this is what it really looks like. Stuck in a bush there for a second. Another big reason why I got this is I've been getting into shooting lately. And a lot of the outdoor places you go shooting around here, you gotta hike in all your ammo and stuff. I figure I can put 1 or 2 ammo boxes in the back of that. I think I can fit my big box with all my 7.62 and my skinny box with all my 9mm in it. And my range day mule. But they'll probably make all that illegal too. It is Colorado after all. Anything that is relatively outdoorsman is on the chopping block. Don't be surprised soon if we have to have licenses and permits to go outside and go hiking. Okay, hold on, I've been talking to you, I forgot where I'm at. Hold on, I think I actually forgot where I'm at. I came down this hill. That trail goes that way. I'm gonna go this way. I hope I picked the right direction. My grandmother's always worried I'm gonna get lost, which I think is funny. How do you get lost in a valley with all these landmarks around? I know exactly where I am, kind of. No, I just wasn't sure if this was the trail I was looking for, or if this is the one that pops back out to the road. So I don't want to go to the road. Alright, well, guess I will do some more exploring and come back if I have anything more interesting. It's kind of a hill over there. That's not really interesting. I'll be back in a minute. Alright. Got a little hill action going on. I think this is the trail I was looking for. And all these trails go to relatively the same spot. They're just kind of all zigzag through here. And occasionally you run into people walking their dogs and whatnot. It's nice because I think most of this is either private property or forest property. And usually even when somebody buys more private property, they'll continue to allow us to use the trails. Although somebody recently bought some property up here and they blocked off a bunch of trails, which is not cool, especially because some of those trails lead up to a big water tank and some firefighter radio equipment. There's like a radio tower up there for wildland firefighting. And they got all the trails blocked off. Which, I mean, it's your private property, you can do whatever you want, but this is why Colorado sucks now. You get all kinds of people moving here from all kinds of places. They come in here and they don't conform to the way things are done here. So, yeah, kind of rambling again, but Colorado's become California's vacation home. That's about it. This might not be the trail I was looking for. I might be lost, folks. I don't know how to get home. Even though half of these landmarks you see, like the Pikes Peak Highway, you can see from my house. And the ridge. Rampart Ridge. Oh wait, hold up. Hold up. Yeah, I have no idea what trail I just went on. I think this is technically a forest access road is what it's called on the map, even though this really isn't a forest. I think that one goes back up to the road. You know what? I'm not going to keep guessing. I have no idea. So we're going to go... Oh, there's somebody's house right there. So I'm almost back. I'm going to go this way. And then probably back to my house, I guess. Remember, folks, this is just a shakedown run. This ain't nothing special. I wasn't even sure I was going to get it today. Between Rlaarlo and FedEx, Customs. Guess I should be happy it only took a month and a half, huh? Well, I don't think there's going to be much more interesting spots on the way home, so I guess I will end it here and we'll finish up at home. And then in the next video, I will probably film in the next couple days. And, oh, here we go. I think I'm going to drive up to there. You see that rock, that really big rock that's bigger than the trees up there on the top of the hill? I think it's like 60 feet tall. It's called Elephant Rock or Split Rock. Yeah, you have to pretty much hike straight up that hill to get up there. I've taken an H10 optic up there and a Boom Racing BRX-01. Trying to think. Oh, and a BRX-02. Probably driven other rigs up there, but it's not the most challenging thing in the world. There are a couple spots you have to pick them up just because of the big steps up, steps down. It is very loose traction and straight up. You do gain like 400 or 500 feet elevation, which is pretty crazy. An optic can do it on one battery, one 2200 battery, all the way there and back on one battery. This is gonna need more. It'll need probably 4 batteries. So I'll probably order some new 4S batteries before I do that, because I don't want to just be changing batteries constantly. I don't want to carry 4 friggin' LiPo batteries on me. So, oh, she looks even better with some dust on it. Oh, and the mirror's facing me. Woohoo! I might take those off. Those things bounce all over the place. But yeah, if you're into scale trucks, it's definitely definitely gonna be up your alley, even though it's Chinese. I do like the style of it though. It's got that classic style, square cab. No idea what the hell that says though. I'm assuming it says Hong Yang or Hong King or whatever the brand this truck is. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh. Back to the house. Alright. Ignore the beautiful background there. That was an old horse stable that is now just junk, I guess. Anyway, so I just got back to the house. Had to grab my water bottle. My Rlaarlo water bottle. Ha 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 ha. Give me free things. No, just kidding. It'd take 2 months for it to get here. Anyway, so I finally received this thing. Ordered it at the very beginning of February when the orders dropped for it, and I'm just now getting it in middle of March, which kind of sucks, but I guess that's out of the company's control. Anyway, so that was a pretty capable rig, pretty fun, very scale, very large, as you can see. That's a TF2, was it the Scale Depot edition? And it looks the right size next to it. Nothing broke in my shakedown run, which is fantastic. That's exactly what you want in a shakedown run. There are a couple things that I don't like about it. The shift servo is a little janky. If you're on an obstacle, it won't shift, and it binds, and it kind of cogs out. So if you want to shift into low gear, make sure you're on flat ground, or you're completely still or slightly rolling, like very slow roll, and it'll pop into low gear. High gear has no problems. If you're just moving a little bit and you pop it into high gear, it immediately switches. No problems with the differential. I had it open at first. You definitely get a lot more steering out of it, but as soon as you're off-road doing technical stuff, you want it locked. Otherwise it really does hang up on the open differential. Yeah, it kind of cogs. I don't know if that's the right term for it. My BRX02s do the same thing. So on the FOCs, when it's going really low speed, it kind of, I don't know, the best way to describe it is it pulses. You can kind of tell it's binding up in the drivetrain somewhere. So it kind of goes slow, then fast, slow, then fast, slow, then fast, slow, then fast. But the more I drove it, I noticed the less it did that. So I think it just needs to be broken in. I would highly recommend you run it on 4S batteries. I'm running it on little 3S batteries here. Actually, we'll take it out. Don't mind me, I don't have my tripods or anything out, so I'm going to hold this in one hand. And so this is how I've discovered you have to take it out. So I can't physically pull this battery cover off anyway, so I just take my MIP 1.5 millimeter driver and kind of jam it in there, and then pry it up. There we go. So, I mean, that definitely needs some kind of tool or something, but I mean, it's not a big deal. So I don't have to remove the body, no body clips or screws or nothing, so that's a plus. Anyway, so I've just been running these. That's what I have for it at the moment. Just little 3S 2200 batteries. I'm going to be ordering some 4S, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 milliamp, whatever I can get next day delivery on Amazon. LOL. Putting it back on is simple. Just pops right back in. So yeah, definitely want to run it on 4S because in high gear on 3S, it has very little torque. It has tons of speed, but as soon as you put it on an obstacle, it cogs out. It doesn't want to do anything. And then if you try and shift into low gear while you're on the obstacle, it doesn't want to do anything. So I think 4S will definitely be the way to go. I feel like there's one other thing. Tires aren't super grippy, at least not in my terrain here with our decaying granite, whatever it's called. But all in all, it's a good rig. It is big. I'm probably going to use it on range day to I probably put 1 or 2 ammo boxes in the back here, so I don't got to carry it all around everywhere. There are a few little blips in the paint. I'm assuming this was hydro dipped or whatever that's called, because if you look in the inside, it looks all normal, and then you look at this side and it looks all weird and smeared, and there's just a couple spots on it where it looks like it was damaged, but it's a military truck, who cares? And then the other thing, these little plastic hinges I don't see lasting very long. I think when they had it in customs, sorry, this friggin' thing just hit me in the head. Anyways, when it was in customs, I could tell that they pulled it out by this, because all these were popped out. Just hit me in the head again. Anyway, But they just popped back in. They weren't broken or anything. So if you get the brushless version that comes in the foam, definitely be aware of that, because you might rip those off. It is packed very nice into that foam box. Be careful pulling it out. It's got these little like hockey puck foam things on the side of it. Pull those out first. Oh man, is there anything else? I don't think so. I'll definitely have more to talk about when we run it again. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I'm a little out of shape, and we're at high altitude here. It looks really good in person. I can't stop looking at it, especially with how big it is. So I have a whole bunch of cross RCs down in my crawl space. I got the TC6, UC6, BC8, WT4, and that is bigger than all of them. It's probably about the same size as the TRX6 hauler. I think it's just a little bit shorter. But it is, oh man, it's just, even though it's Chinese, it's a cool truck. And if you know me, you know I'm not a brand whore or anything. I don't care about who makes it. If it's a cool truck, it's a cool truck. And it's definitely a cool truck. So stay tuned for more. Maybe I'll have more energy in the next one. Probably not though. This is kind of who I am. I know I said earlier I was going to go up to Split Rock the next time, but that's kind of a pain in the ass of a hike. And it's not that interesting. It's basically the same way I went today, except you kind of keep going straight instead of turning around, and you go straight up a hill. But the views are really good up there. I think I'll go to the Boy Scout camp next time. It's not as much of a pain in the ass to go up there, and it's more technical. There's a lot more rocks and harder lines and little places you can sneak off the trail for some more cool spots. And we can go all the way up to the Star from there too, and that's still a pretty cool accomplishment for any rig to go from my house all the way up to the Star. That's probably, I think it's about 7 kilometers there and back. So, well, stay tuned for more. I think this truck is going to get a lot of use out of it. See you in the next one, I guess.